New York, one of the most iconic and heavily populated states in the U.S., with a rich history dating back to the original 13 colonies. But long before European settlers arrived, this land was home to indigenous tribes who had lived here for thousands of years. The earliest known inhabitants of New York were indigenous peoples who settled the region around 10,000 BC. Over centuries, tribes such as the Iroquois, Mohawk, Oneida, and Seneca established sophisticated communities, forming alliances like the powerful Iroquois Confederacy. They built thriving economies, farmed the land, and developed rich cultural traditions. However, all of that would change with the arrival of European explorers. In 1524, Italian explorer Giovanni da Verrazzano, sailing under the French flag, was the first European to set eyes on what we now call New York Harbor. He was followed by French explorer Jacques Cartier in 1535, but neither made lasting settlements. That changed in 1609 when Henry Hudson, working for the Dutch East India Company, explored the region and laid the groundwork for colonization. By 1614, the Dutch had established the first European settlement, Fort Nassau, near present-day Albany. Soon after, Fort Orange replaced it as the colony's headquarters. By 1624, the Dutch formally founded New Amsterdam, which would later become New York City. Immigrants from across Europe flocked to this new land, drawn by the promise of trade and opportunity. New Amsterdam thrived under Dutch rule, but it wouldn't last. In 1664, during the Second Anglo-Dutch War, the English seized the colony and renamed it New York in honor of the Duke of York. Though briefly reclaimed by the Dutch in 1673, it returned to English control just a year later. Despite the change in rulers, New York continued to grow, attracting settlers from all over Europe. By the 1700s, its population had surged from 8,000 to 168,000. New York became a battleground for European powers vying for control. The French and Indian War, 1754 to 1763, saw indigenous tribes siding with both the French and British, ultimately leading to a British victory. But the conflict didn't end there. As tensions with Britain escalated, New York played a central role in the American Revolution. Following the passage of the Stamp Act in 1765, New Yorkers, led by the Sons of Liberty, became vocal supporters of independence. By 1776, New York officially endorsed the Declaration of Independence. The state became a key battleground, with nearly one-third of all Revolutionary War battles fought on its soil. Though New York City remained under British control until the war's end, the colonies emerged victorious, and New York helped shape the new nation. After the Revolution, New York quickly became a political and economic powerhouse. It briefly served as the first capital of the United States, where George Washington took the oath as the nation's first president. The state played a crucial role in shaping the U.S. Constitution, and by 1797, Albany became its permanent capital. New York's influence only grew in the 19th century. The construction of the Erie Canal transformed trade and transportation, connecting the state to the Midwest and fueling economic expansion. Agriculture, industry, and commerce thrived, while the abolitionist movement gained momentum. Governor William H. Seward led efforts to protect runaway slaves and expand the rights of free Black Americans. During the Civil War, New York contributed more soldiers than any other northern state, though unrest over conscription led to violent draft riots in 1863. As the war ended, waves of immigrants arrived: Germans, Italians, Irish, Eastern Europeans, and Chinese, fueling New York's rapid urbanization and industrial growth. By 1900, the state's population had soared past 7 million. New York continued to play a pivotal role in shaping America. From the Great Depression and World Wars to the Civil Rights Movement and modern innovation, the state has remained at the heart of the nation's progress. Today, it stands as one of the most influential states in the U.S., home to global finance, culture, and history. New York's story is deeply woven into the fabric of America. Manhattan's iconic grid plan, established in 1811, is a masterclass in urban design. Imagine a city laid out like a giant chessboard, with streets running north-south and avenues stretching east-west. This systematic approach not only maximized land use but also made navigation intuitive. Each block measures about 200 feet by 600 feet, creating a rhythm that's both functional and visually appealing. The grid was revolutionary, promoting accessibility and fostering economic growth. It allowed for the rapid development of neighborhoods, transforming farmland into a bustling metropolis. And let's not forget the parks. Central Park, an oasis amidst the concrete, was a visionary addition, breaking the monotony of the grid. Today, Manhattan's grid is more than just a layout, it's a symbol of innovation, shaping the way cities are designed worldwide. It's a testament to the power of planning, proving that a simple grid can create a vibrant, dynamic urban landscape. At first glance, this appears to be a typical map of New York City, Broadway, Bowery, all in their usual places. But zoom in, and you'll notice something peculiar. The streets run diagonally, and new land stretches beyond the island's edge. This was a rejected plan, a vision that never came to life. Instead, we got the perfect grid we know today, a structure so precise that even the sunlight has its own Instagram moment. But this grid isn't just about looks, it tells a story of urban development. While cities like Philadelphia and Savannah were built on ideals of order and community, New York's chaotic beginnings were shaped by organic growth and private landowners. By the late 1700s, the population surged, and the need for a cleaner, organized city became urgent. In 1797, a sophisticated plan was proposed, but it was too slow for a city in a hurry. By 1807, the decision was made, a grid layout that prioritized efficiency over elegance. Right-angled houses were cheaper and easier to build, fueling New York's explosive growth. Critics like Frederick Law Olmsted lamented the grid's lack of beauty, but the city's values in 1811 were clear: build, build, build. And that's how New York became one of the most iconic city layouts in the world. Beneath the bustling streets of New York City lies a hidden world of pneumatic tubes, remnants of a time when mail zipped through the city at lightning speed. Imagine the whispers of secrets shared in Grand Central Terminal, where certain spots allow conversations to travel across the room thanks to its unique architecture. And did you know there are cow tunnels beneath Manhattan? Built in the 19th century to transport cattle without disrupting traffic, they're a quirky reminder of the city's past. Hidden within the Ford Foundation's headquarters is a lush tropical garden, a serene escape often missed by hurried tourists. Meanwhile, the abandoned Myrtle Avenue subway station houses the Mastransiscope, a mesmerizing art installation visible only from passing trains. Lower Manhattan is literally built on history, with buried ships from the 18th and 19th centuries serving as landfill to extend the shoreline. In Brooklyn, an old bomb shelter has transformed into a hydroponic farm, growing fresh produce under LED lights. And atop a midtown office building, a secret forest of redwood trees offers a surprising green oasis amidst the concrete. Finally, the ornate City Hall subway station, closed since 1945, stands as a stunning testament to the city's architectural beauty, occasionally revealed through special tours. Each of these hidden gems tells a story, waiting to be discovered. In the heart of New York, secrets lie hidden in plain sight. Take the ship graveyard in Staten Island's Arthur Kill Waterway, where abandoned vessels decay, whispering tales of the past. Then there's the Elevated Acre, a secret park perched atop a downtown building, offering breathtaking views of the East River, a perfect escape from the city's hustle. Did you know Central Park hides a waterfall? Or that Morningside Park has its own concealed cascade? These hidden gems are nature's surprises amidst the urban sprawl. And right in Midtown, fragments of the Berlin Wall stand as a poignant reminder of history, often overlooked by passers-by. For a unique twist, the Knickerbocker Hotel has a secret door leading straight to the Times Square subway station. Imagine the stories that door could tell. Beneath the Port Authority bus terminal, an underground bowling alley sits forgotten, closed since the 90s, a relic of a different era. On the rooftops of the East Village, a hidden village of cottages awaits, a whimsical escape from the concrete jungle. And at Columbia University, a network of underground tunnels connects buildings, accessible only to students, shrouded in mystery. Lastly, the abandoned smallpox hospital on Roosevelt Island stands as a haunting reminder of the past, a ghostly echo of history in the modern city. New York is full of these hidden mysteries, just waiting to be discovered. New York City is full of hidden gems that often get overshadowed by the usual tourist spots. Take the High Line, for instance. This elevated park, built on a former railway, offers stunning views of the Hudson River and unique art installations. Then there's the Tenement Museum on the Lower East Side, where you can step back in time and experience the lives of immigrants who shaped this city. Don't miss the Whispering Gallery in Grand Central Terminal. It's a magical spot where you can share secrets with a friend across the archway. And for a taste of local culture, head to Arthur Avenue in the Bronx, often called the real Little Italy, where you'll find authentic Italian food that rivals anything in Manhattan. Each of these places tells a story, revealing the rich tapestry of New York beyond the bright lights.